Alright, welcome back to Jake's 12 Days of Angels, Day 9. And now for something less anime and less naked girls falling out of the sky like yesterday, and more the creepy retro future dealy today. Yeah, this is Cyber City 2157. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. On day 9. And if you didn't know, and you should know, I'm doing this because Indigala has a bundle going right now. It's the last day. When I started to set this up, to start recording this, it was at like 14 hours. By the time this gets up, it'll probably be 11 or 12 hours left. So yeah, if you haven't gone and got it yet, and you want to, now is the time. It's $5 for 11 games, 11 visual novels, mostly anime based. This one would be the exception. And yeah, it's the Anime Angels bundle, and yeah, not a sponsor, by the way. I'm just saying I'm using it as an excuse to play all these games in a row in a daily fashion, and yeah, and since it's available and it's cheap and there's a bunch of games, I thought I would tell you that I'm doing that, so you can go get them yourself if you want to. If you're quick and you see this video soon, because it'll be over, and soon. Like I said. Anyway, yeah, enough of my rambling. Let's start this. Whatever this retro-y, spooky thing, whatever this is about. So yeah, new game. Insert the first cassette. All right, I'll do that. Okay. There's a spaceship. And small text. Voice in my head. Where are we? Voice from inside me. Alright. Who are we? Look around, what do you see? There's a spaceport in the middle of the desert, and nothing else for many kilometers around. Except maybe a few tumbleweeds. I don't hear any sound. It's the perfect stillness of the desert. But it still gives me no clue what's happening around. I see the rocket ready for a launch, and it seems like there isn't much time for the start. How did we get here? I don't remember. Does it matter now? Voices in the launch center. Bzz. Everybody get ready. We have liftoff. Who are these people? They sound like they're near us. Can you see them? Oh, I think they're in this building, which is on the edge of the desert. 3, 2, 1. Start of the lifting engine. What a sound! It was deafening. It would not be funny to lose my hearing. Can you warn me next time, moron? I thought it would be funny to scare you a little. Don't be angry. Instead, listen to what I'm going to tell you. Come on, but don't think I'll forgive you so easily. The rocket is rising, leaving clouds of dust, covering the whole desert with it. Oops. Dust has covered my eyesight. The first stage is successful. We're gaining altitude. Every member of the team should focus. The rocket is accelerating. It's tearing clouds. Amazingly, how can this heavy thing fly? It's not just a heavy pile of metal, it's a high-tech invention. If you were wiser, perhaps, you could understand. I'm not very smart, but I'm not as boring as you are. Oh. The image starts to fade, replaced by another one. Then a new picture appears. The ship entered the Earth's orbit. We are so high, it is a wonderful sight of our old planet. What a pity you can't see it. Sometimes you're so annoying, but you need to long for it for a little while. Although... Oh, why are you so serious? It hurts me. You're so angry, my elder brother. Orbital injection has been successful. Stabilization of the ship has completed. We're ready for general mission. The heroes team? Cosmonaut? Yes, Sensor, there's a small signal lag, but I hear you. Ready to dispatch the general mission. Something's wrong. Antennas are not deployed. Stop. How do you know that? You cannot see it without me. I know that, but I won't tell you how. Maybe you're just too bad, you brother. What is this game? Sensor, we have a problem. The antennas are not opened. We tried to run them from the backup unit. It was unsuccessful. Damn it. Wait a bit. We'll look at the indicators on our screens. Something strange in the antenna, like a shadow. It's over. It disappeared. All indicators in the ship systems are normal. You need to get out and inspect the ship. There's no way to solve this problem. Systems calculate this is probability for this solution at 87 out of 100. Affirmative, I'm moving out. Hey look, there he is. The hatch opens. Figured an astronaut. Tiny compared with the ship. And invisible and contrasted with the Earth. It's fallen from it. How symbolic it is. I'm shivering. Don't shiver. I'm shivering with you in case you forgot. The rest has been perfect. There are no problems. I'm moving to the antennas. Peter starts moving, playing through the protrusions of the spacecraft skin like a little space monkey. How cute and stupid you can be at the same time. Which little space monkey. Reach the antennas. Starting inspection. Oh. Question marks. You shouldn't be here. Or go away. Run forward, it's too late. Do I hear voices? Something is wrong over here. I'll continue to dispatch the mission. Check the equipment. Repeat, I can't hear you. Shh. What an unpleasant voice. Didn't forecast anything good. Had he disobeyed him? Yes, I don't understand where the voice did come from. Up, up, up. Oh. There is no one around us, only space. Center, alert, my hands are sliding. I'm losing contact with the ship. I can't hold it. If the wind blows here, it's absolutely impossible. What the hell is going on here? Can you hear me? Center, I've lost contact with the ship. Why didn't you listen to us? Why didn't you listen to us? Why didn't you listen to us? Your air starts to drift away, like a plastic brown bag. Poor space monkey. Why does it always happen? The elder brother. There are other voices. They're not from here. People don't understand what they're dealing with. Maybe you should stop talking in riddles, nerdy. Akira, get in touch. According to your data, you are drawn away from the ship. My hands. I fly away from the ship. Monkey's very sad and scared. What a pity. Akira, get a hold of yourself. We'll think of something. While they are thinking, the woman's running farther away from the ship, surrounded by only silence. I hear the rattle of metal. Center, antennas have been opened. I did it. It's correct. Antennas began to open. Remember looking at the moon? Everything is over. Goodbye, younger brother. Stay well, old man. Is that sometimes you? Harborto Era present Cyber City 2157. Ooh. What is even going on? Am I awake now? What a strange dream I've seen today. Everything was so real, as I've seen it with my own eyes. What was the name of the cosmonaut? Monkey. Sometimes we really see funny things in our dreams, or scary things. Antennas. Why did they deploy the antennas? I should understand the logic of my dreams. All those scenes, they were so familiar. Where could I have seen all this? It's time to get out of bed. My day begins pretty early. I check the mail, decide to continue to sleep or get to work. Usually I work by remote contacts. My last client was in my own town. I haven't been told the name of the company. All their activities are a mystery for me. The goal is to create a replica of the director's wife for the holographic interface. It's fast and clean work. They don't want to fully deal with me by email. This makes the work more complicated. Their reluctance can be compared only with my reluctance to leave the home. But I really need money, and there's no other work on the horizon. I don't want to go back to the office. Colleagues, constant communication, bosses. These things scare me more than a problem with money. Although who am I fooling? I work the same way. I cling to the last bit of strength to the image of a free man. I even remembered the names of my colleagues. I just stopped thinking about it not to feel disgusted with myself. System activate the postal service. Screen began to move. Figures on the screen began shaping something like an image. The screen is old, and I prefer to use the voice interface. You have 2 new messages. Open them now. Irony. Person with holographic molds can't afford the system for reproducing them. Open and read them aloud. Which is first? From AKSC. Dear Cosmo Boy, we inform you that today is necessary to come to our office according to the contract. We wait for you at the usual time. Your customer received 20 minutes ago. Customer executes all the terms of the contract. It's perfect. Or the next message. The second message from ISM. Remember how we looked at the moon? Received 1 minute ago. What nonsense. These words sound familiar. As if I heard them recently. Post service, give me more information about the sender. The sender normally sends messages from within the system. I don't understand. Reference, explain in detail. ISM. Internal system message. It didn't have an internal sender. It's sent with the device you're using at the moment. The message contains an error code. Move it to the help topic. They're responding to this error. The message contains text. Possibly your system has undergone an external invasion. End of reference. Remember we looked at the moon. Maybe these were in my dream. Maybe it was an unusual coincidence. How is it possible that someone could break into my system only to leave such an incomprehensible message? Maybe it's some kind of code. Another message will be sent with more information. Hackers may be planning something bad and cause me trouble. Full service. Please action with the second message. Error. Message with this number isn't detected. Only 1 message from the sender. AKSC. Self-destructed message. Things are getting more and more interesting. But I've got to get ready for work. I can't be late or I'll get a fine. I have to call my customer service in the evening. Nothing explains to me about my old system. Postal service, report about the weather on the street and turn off. The temperature outside is plus 15 degrees. The sun is in the blue sector. Have a nice day. As it turns off, it stops emitting a hum. Yes, the morning starts quite strange. I love person if you're ready for breakfast would be enough, then I can go. Every day goes that way since I've started working with this company. In the morning, this feeling of infinite repetition of individual action looks absolutely crisp. Brain just woke up and is full of energy for these actions. The brain starts to make plans for the day. Wake up, stay in bed, have breakfast, take a shower. Remember, it's time to go to work. Choose clothes for the day. Leave the house. Every day, the pink light of the sun in the east covers the city and wakes up the inhabitants. People wake up and move to work like ants. They're ants like me, and drive my need to the places where I meet the needs of other people. Bold and she emerged just a few years ago, the power of the systems becoming efficient for processing. At first, the molds were a service for the rich and big companies, but gradually they began to be used in the homes of ordinary people. Standard molds are not expensive, but they require a fairly powerful system. Personal molds are difficult to manufacture. The sun never sets. It just changes colors from one to another and touches the entire life of the city to these colors. Blue sector, it's time to wake. Pink sector, it's time to go to work. It's time to listen to people's conversations on the way to work. Time to look in the sky. Time to relax. When you create the mold, you need to collect data about the subject. Voice, behavior, movement. The most important thing is to create AI, which should be able to fully simulate a human and hide all its advantages. Speak defects, problem and appearance, cantankerous character, all this must be removed. Necessary to add everything the customer finds indispensable. Maybe improved appearance or modified tone of voice. It shall be the perfect copy, which is much better than the original. One color of the sun is replaced by another. Checkpoint passed. Time to reach the workplace. Time to work. Time to reproduce work. Time to talk with colleagues. I already think I'm an equal with them. They gossip about the boss, talk about their families. They share each other their successes and failures. Today they especially talk about the news. That what they saw on TV yesterday. There was a launch of Orbit to a research ship. The results of the research are not specified. Other conversations I understand that the company is directly related to these studies. I wanted to know the details of their participation, but workers stopped talking and changed to another topic when I approached them. I think they didn't accept me fully as a colleague. They didn't want to violate company policy. It goes that way in every company where I worked. Nor did I really fit in with the team. And I left as soon as the project ended. Sometimes former colleagues wanted contact with me, even called. But I didn't answer them. I don't know why. Immediate communication was minimal. The only thing I was able to hear from their discussions is something connected with frost, but it didn't help me get the full information. Get off at the break. Spin to break. Think about spending an evening. I feel that today the sun is moving more slowly than usual. To get back to the workplace. To entertain myself with food. Participate in the meeting. To talk with the customer. The bulk of the work has been done already. Artificial intelligence and the prototype of the outer shell has been made. The desire of the customer was unusual. He had not wanted any change in the neutral object. He wanted a full copy of his wife. He wanted the copy without the basic ideal inherent to molds, for the purpose which is necessary. It's not clarified beyond what was stipulated in the contract. He arranged a meeting with his wife tomorrow, and I would start the creating and digitizing her image. It would not be an easy task, because the customer wanted an exact copy. It might be possible to work on a flaw for the improvement of the original object, as I usually did it. Anyways, the work is coming to an end. This task will not take much time. Only about the end of the day. To stop working. Watch my colleagues leave their jobs. Say goodbye, and I wish good evening to every one of them. Wait until the roads are free, as I not sit meaninglessly in a traffic jam. To dream. People say outside the city there are times when there is no sun in the sky. Everything becomes dark as in the room with the closed door. But the sky does not remain empty. There's another circle in the sky. It's called the moon in books I've read. Looks like a circle. What is in the sky radiates the same light. But I don't have anyone who could confirm or deny this statement. Those who are lucky enough to go outside the city don't know how to disclose what they have seen. Or maybe I don't know anyone who has been there. I was so intrigued by this topic that I found some old, non-digitized books devoted to this issue. Covers of books don't coincide with their context. I get a feeling they've been protected by somebody. Like they was connected with the cleaning sources of information held with paper books. In these books I learned there was something like the night city too, but it was before the incident. The concept of night was not described, so I've concluded that it is absolutely common, with no need to explain. There's no explanation about what the incident is. There's very little information in the books. Besides the fact that, chronologically, it dates back to the early years. Both terms were not used even once in the digital books. That is true. I create a modification of the system, which checked each of these books. By the way, it's time to go home. To close the room. To go down the stairs. To say goodbye to the security. To go outside. To decide how to spend the evening. Let's go for a walk. I started carrying out this order. I love to spend the evenings aimless wandering around the city. Before I didn't think it could be so fun. The fresh evening air, the crowds of people rushing home after work, and street idlers like me on the streets. They're lost and bewildered in how the city has changed. After a long time spent in my four walls of my apartment, I stopped to recognize these streets. There are small changes in my quarter. If you walk a couple of blocks to the side, you'll be caught in a strange place, filled with new houses and people you haven't seen before. It never ceases to amaze me. I often spend my evenings walking through these streets, and every time I find something new and lose something old. Views I've never seen can appear suddenly from the old corner. The street with the dead end turned into a multi-lane road, surrounded by skyscrapers. During these walks, I feel like a tourist visiting an unknown city and exploring it with pleasure. I can't find the places which I can tie my memories. There are no buildings where I have been, no companies where I have worked, and I can't meet the people I know. There are no traces to explain what happened with all of them. Maybe they moved through their life like ghosts leaving no trace. They're also looking for me, can't find any clues. They try to come to my home, but they see another high rise, or a high-speed highway in the place where my house used to be. Call me at home, instead of answering. Yet this number does not exist. Maybe I moved through my life like a ghost leaving no trace. It wasn't easy to answer these questions in the constant and changing city. People I speak about this don't know the answers, and then they disappear. I began to ask myself these questions. It started not long before I switched to freelancing. Though, who am I fooling? I just left my work and started sitting at home, trying to answer these questions at least for myself. I read everything I could find in the system. I tried to find some evidence that I was not losing my mind. One information I could find disappeared after some time. There are only two alternatives. I went crazy or the city changes faster and faster. This discovery stunned me. I was laying in bed and staring at the ceiling. I tried to figure out the moment the city had changed. I picked the color of the sun not to hide the moment of change. Didn't hide the moment of change. I closed all the windows in the flat. I moved away to eat or use the toilet. This time used a camera-recorded ceiling on the video in order to capture the transformation of the ceiling into something else. Change in pattern, color, or something else may indicate changes. The days passed, then the weeks, months followed by weeks. Something hasn't changed, but my money was coming to an end. I was in despair. Because I knew that I behaved like a madman, but I didn't want to go completely mad, so I turned on the broadcast and to hear something while watching the ceiling. Perhaps the woman had some reason of not liking me. And then I lay and listened to the broadcasts of the latest news, and they made the first mention of the technology of molds. I remember how this blatant advertising sounded in the news broadcast. Freeze yourself in this endless and rapidly changing reality. Book a mold of yourself, and members of your family never leave each other. We would make each other a little better. It was like a punch to my head. Soon the sphere gave me a wink. There wasn't a coincidence. I was sure my mind was inflamed by having observed the ceiling for months. I jumped out of bed, felt an acute pain and really mooches this for a long time. I rushed to my desk on staggering legs. It doesn't have helped me to search through all the information for this subject. There's little private information at the time. And it was just beginning its emergence, but the interest in this technology between users was like a tsunami. And I realized one thing, I'm going to do it. The second little thing, apparently I'm not crazy. I was mentioned a moment I was so interested in them, and other people would feel the same. After all, the mold was evidence that the person was the basis of the mold that was real sometime. After all, the mold intent to make something permanent besides the ceiling above the bed. I wanted to speak of a response to the questions that led me to this condition. I became the person lying in bed and staring at the ceiling. No matter how silly it sounds, these words became a turning point in my life. I began to work a lot. I started to construct simple molds. They could only answer the questions that were given before. I moved farther and further away. I tried to get the first orders. I was even able to buy a simple meal. But I hadn't had great success. There was enough for living. I did not tell anybody about my past life, and cut off all questions with a special point in the contract. Also, I didn't tell anyone about the changes I see around myself. I was still not sure that I wasn't crazy. If it was true, staying without a job and food would not improve my mental state. Molds calm me. They are immutable, like the sun. A great proof of existence they may be, if not the consistency of this existence. The sun never changes. I have no doubt that it exists there. It also conducts a silent countdown of available colors. It doesn't ever go astray. It changes the colors with a second punctuality, day after day, year after year. As long as I remember, it has never violated its regulations. But back to the present after this excursion and the history of my mind. For an hour walking, that I found myself in a completely unfamiliar part of the city. It appeared here at least a few days ago. I usually always walk by one and the same route, having a chance to collect more information on the principles of the city changes. The sun becomes the color of coffee with milk this time of day. It doesn't irritate the eyes as in the bright daytime sectors. Looking around carefully, I saw the road winded among the trees. Trees, not often met in this city. It's often definitely the first time I see the changes bring about new trees. The changes involve everything in concrete, and delete the vegetation that was there before. They increase the size of the buildings in this sector. Necessary to see what can lurk in the oasis in the middle of a concrete desert. Wow, this is a couple of trees is a park. Looking forward, I can't see where it ends. I did not expect that such places could be in the middle of developed areas. Bristle of the trees, shadows covering the road between them. The air is filled with the aroma of leaves. As I'm a real forest. Only the birds do not sing. Not a single person around, which indicates this park appeared recently, and people are not yet accustomed to its presence. The further I walk down the avenue, the sounds of the streets around the park become quieter. Step, step, that's all. There's only me and the sound of the trees. Trees almost completely hide the surrounding houses. Warm blowing wind, sultry evening air filled with the smell of car exhaust. It was a defect in the plan. The layout of the city always strives for the comfort of its inhabitants. The smell of gasoline in a quiet place not suitable for such a peaceful place. It's worth seeing this place more closely. I can find something interesting from my research. Anyways, I can relax here from work under the orange shine and calm alley. I've not relaxed so well in a long time. I don't like to sit or stand still. So I went down the road. Trees are replaced by other trees. Branches gradually increases their height and span. Free outline at the tops, it would resemble stair steps. The further I walked, the sound of the streets became quieter around, and the more I began to feel the atmosphere of the forest. I walked further and further, without thinking about where my legs were leading me. The road was straight, so I didn't have to think anymore about where it would lead me. I was so relaxed and walking along absent-mindedly that I stopped and looked around. I was surprised at the strangeness of this place. I felt paranoid at finding myself in an unknown place. Finally, I was able to relax again and overcame my fearful thoughts. Normally, I could not get rid of them in any way other than when I worked with the molds. Trees soon flamed houses, and the highways developed by the park. Although, is it the park? Judging by how far I had gone, this park can be called a full-fledged forest. The original plan was to stay on the trail until I got to the other side of the park. I just planned a short walk after work. The road began to climb, and I decided to devote the whole evening to research the park or go home because it was too late. Getting cold, standing there thinking it was fraught with cold. I breathed in the cold air and decided to continue along the road. I have enough time to do my home duties. The chance to walk in the forest in the midst of the city comes along so infrequently. Still, spending all the time at four walls might part, not necessarily. Sometimes you have to get out and go meet people in the fresh air. It already becomes so gloomy. The park is a good place to spend time. How many interesting people I had seen there today? It was my grandfather fed the pigeons and laughed each time he blew crumbs. Stop, these are not my ideas. There were no people. This place is trying to change my mind. It confuses me. It replaces my thoughts with those that it needs. Peace of mind and the desire to stay here. Must focus and look better. Surely there's something interesting. Suddenly I came to a place that so completely interfered with my thinking. Every new place you go, after all, it affects your thinking in a certain way. It has its own ideas about where people should be, what to do, and how to feel during these times. But this place is different. It is more aggressive. I did not notice where I was, though it ended and turned into a soft mud. Covered the top with leaves, boots sank into the soft muck. I walked a few meters and felt the wind that was gone. Something was wrong here. What? Isabel? What the hell is this? Everything before my eyes turned purple for a few seconds, and back to normal tinted as paper with a picture. And this noise, with a voice. It seemed to me that he is calling someone, and this place is trying to put pressure on me to go forward. But I cannot yet realize it. More options. I cannot understand where my thoughts are coming from, and yet where the ideas are being introduced to this place. I must decide how to proceed. All this is getting too weird. Go back. Keep going. All this becomes terribly interesting. Will I enjoy the pleasure in life without the usual adventures? I feel like an astronaut walking in space. Step forward. Spaceman. There's a memory related to astronauts. Where am I remembering from now? At work? On TV? But there was something else. A feeling that I myself was involved. More steps. Exactly. I saw an astronaut in my dream. What happened to me? Why am I so agitated and worried? Here's a great place. I followed to the end, to admire the glowing trees that for so long I had not seen. But the paranoid feeling never left me. And what a strange thing happened. It seemed to me that everything in front of my eyes lit up with purple light. Maybe I just have an overactive imagination because of the fresh air? I must get out of the house more often. Then I won't be suddenly overcome with dizziness in the fresh air. Okay, enough standing holding your head with silly thoughts. Go on. Sooner or later this road must end somewhere. We're leading something more interesting. Strangely, I'm trying to mirror this soft feel underfoot. Shoes bogged down in the mud, rustling of leaves. It all seems so familiar to me. Have I been here before? Being distant as if I were here, once upon a time, is not the most pleasant memory of my life. I see something in the distance beginning to emerge. Necessary to come closer. I don't know, this place seems so familiar. This is the main city cemetery. I know that it was possible to get from this side of town without taking 22nd Street. I've been here a few times, but I never noticed the other entrance. Cemetery is not the most pleasant place to walk. You need to remember the way out. I am, of course, mistaken, and it's a cemetery. The town is an old and new cemetery, judging by architecture and tombstones. It's an old cemetery. So go ahead. I will find the gate. I went somehow not where I planned, even though I was sure that I was going on the shortest route to the gates of the 22nd Street. Apparently, the cemetery is bigger than I remembered it. Interesting building. I had not that I study there's so much older burial space, judging from its look, at least 5 or 6 centuries old, or even older. I'm certainly not an expert on the architecture. I must look at it closer. Oh. Isabel. Isabel. Why have you left me? What the hell is this? I had the feeling I had seen something similar recently. Or, it seems to me. At least, although, it's not so important. Its voice comes out of the catacombs. Maybe there's someone ill, or something wrong. How could someone have gotten back here? But the voice seemed familiar. I should go check. As expected, there is no one. I want to look around. The interior looks very old. The only large object is the old grave, a couple of passages departing from this room. But I do not want to go there. my own peace of mind, I should call the person who spoke. Maybe he or she will respond. Or I can see you and we'll talk, I say, and then more loudly. Oh. Voice from inside me. Is anyone alive here? I heard someone calling. It's a funny choice of words to ask in the catacombs. Who is speaking here in my house of eternity? Who broke my rest? Are you a sneaky man or a vagrant beast? I respond. I'm here for you. And yes, I'm a man. I'm Sir Randolph. It rains here for a long time. The eyes decayed 6 centuries ago. By this I do not see, but hear. Like has not died. I went to something strange. I heard your voice and decided to check if everything is in order here. Where are you? I'm laid in the grave before you. I have a grave of leaf and ashes. You've taken refuge under the cover. More boonies I lacked, but I must ask what happened. Thinking he is a problem I can help. Within his head problems, that is. I cannot help him with those. You called someone. I heard your voice. You need help. One problem I cannot solve. My fair Isabel has disappeared, and as we know, the ash cannot work. I call her here in the hope that she will come to me, but then you came and will help me. Of course, I understand everything, but maybe I need a doctor or something to help. That would let you go, Sir Gandalf. He's here to help this bad man in a sense. Then you remain to leave him here. I'm Sir Randolph, and you are a filthy peasant who will help me. You, a filthy peasant, will help me. Do not ignore me. I am wrathful in anger. The place of shadows stood out bloody spots, almost deafened by his voice. Whoever or what it was dangerous. I tried to get closer to the exit, but my legs did not obey me completely. They stood there like they were poured in concrete. I hear the fear that you let go. So you have decided you despicable person. An honor, sir. Seems I have no choice. That's better. Mission adorns but like you, because they have no other advantages. Discard this high style. I know people who used to communicate in your century. Now I can breathe. He seems relaxed. Let's help him go home. Really quick and safe. Let me help you, sir. I want to serve you better, so I don't deserve your wrath to come. Alright, I think I'm getting out of here. This is very strange. Yeah, so this was Cyber City 2157. And it's very strange. Apparently we went from a future city to a park, to a forest, to a graveyard, to a catacomb, into a Randolph ghost guy or something like that. What? Alright, fine. That's what we did, I guess. It's very strange. A very strange game. I don't really understand it, to be honest. I was starting to get the impression that the voice from inside me was the person's speaking voice. And the voice inside the head was thoughts. But the younger brother and older brother thing from earlier confuses me also. That makes me think they're separate, like the voice from inside me was a separate entity than the mind. But I really have no idea what this game is. So yeah, that's this. Anyway, oh yeah, so this has been day 9, and tomorrow on day 10 we play something with a queen in it, I think. I don't remember, really. So, yeah, we get the bundle if you want it, because it'll be over soon. It'll definitely be over by the time the next video is posted. So yeah, strike now if you want it. And if you don't, well, it won't be there tomorrow, and I don't think the page will be there either, so... yeah, there you go. Anyway, so, until next time.